There is nothing quite like the fun, adventure, and utter confusion of trying to check out all the really cool Japanese, Korean, and Chinese robot toys coming from Asia right now. If you're using an app like Alibaba, AliExpress, there's so much to choose from it can almost seem overwhelming. And they're all priced really, really reasonably as well. So I've had a lot of fun going through and ordering a lot of them myself so I can make some videos showing you which ones were hits, which ones were misses, and which ones were somewhere in between. Today's toy came about really because there were so many toys in the price range I was looking for, which was like $50 to $60. I wanted a nice, big, complex combiner that would cost me about $50 to $60, and I was looking for something different. And there's so much to choose from, but I finally settled on one that I want to spend time on today, simply because part of it is a school bus. And I've never seen a Transformer that's a school bus before. Have you? Just seems like common sense. I mean, they're on our streets. We see them all the time. Why doesn't anyone make a transforming school bus? And I mean, honestly, wouldn't kids think that was super cool? So this is just one part of a much larger toy whose name I still don't know. After recording this episode, I learned that his name is Super Patron from season 4 of Hello Carbot. Because the way I found it is, if you find the Hello Carbot Pentastorm, a really, really popular combining robot toy that I reviewed previously, link above, it's a good toy. When you look at the different varieties it's offered in, different robot toys made by the same company come up. And one of them is this toy that I can't tell the name for. Once again, he's Super Patron from season 4 of Hello Carbot. But I'm going to show it to you today. I think it's a really, really interesting toy. It's got a lot of positives. It's got some negatives as well. You may love it, you may not. For the $60 price tag and the size of it and the complexity, I don't think it can be beat. But whether or not it's a toy that you need to have on your shelves, well, this video will show you. Let's go to the work table. Here are 4 vehicles to start with. We've got the school bus we saw earlier. We've got a really cool fire truck with a cherry picker as opposed to traditional ladder. I'm not sure if those are common in Korea or if that's just an aesthetic choice or if he actually works for the power company. But yeah, he's different. We do also on top of that have an ambulance, a police car. They're all like emergency service vehicles except for the school bus, which is interesting. A couple things to note right off the bat. The plastic is heavy enough. It does not feel cheap at all. I do think that, well, I always hate when you don't have transparent plastic and you have just painted on windows instead. And all 4 of these have painted on windows. By the way, I know it would have cost a little extra money for manufacturing, but I would like to have seen an actual stop sign that could swing out. That would have been a nice choice. You can see they cut costs in a couple places here. It's still hefty quality toy. It's big too. Just to give you a sense of size, here's a G1 smoke screen hanging out in the middle. I mean, they're enormous compared to him. You can see that. Big toys, generally not bad looking toys. Just could be a little nicer, but the detail's not bad. I mean, look at all that they put right there. They took time and money to do that, right? The wheels look nice. They spin. Got actual, like, a little bit of metal in there, too, which is nice. Well, you can tell that's a robot underneath. The cherry picker moves. You know, it's not bad for... Remember, again, this entire thing only ran me $60. Not bad. Just room for improvement, of course. Nothing special about the school bus. It's a plastic shell, but it's hefty. It's big. It's weighty. Again, those tires are not rubber, but you got little metal in the middle. The chrome is painted. It looks nice. These guys are a little bit cheaper. Nothing all that special there. But again, you got wheels that spin. Little metal core. Not bad. Nothing too remarkable yet, other than the fact that one of them is a school bus. Let's look at the transformation. This toy is a bit interesting because it begins as 2 different robot toys that join into one larger one. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck on this one. So I'll begin with the school bus because you know I like the school bus. And what we'll do with him first is he has a weapon that removes from the bottom. We're going to take that right out. We'll use this later on. A lot of this guy is just a matter of folding. He's got a lot of pieces that just sort of fold out. So we'll do that. A lot of folding. A lot of folding. We'll remove these pieces from the back here. And we'll do some more folding. More folding. Just a big plastic folding shell. That part's not too amazing. There's nothing brilliant about the transformation yet, per se. Give it time. This guy does have some very positive qualities I really like. I'll move these guys aside for a moment and make it just about him. All right, so we got that going on right there. He's got some guns on his arms, which is, impressive. It's got to be problematic when he's off duty. I mean, he's probably a piloted mech. I've never watched the show, but I'd imagine otherwise, shaking hands with people can be a daunting activity. He's a cool-looking toy. He's not bad, and he's got this... I don't know what this is. Maybe if I watched the Korean show this comes from, whatever it might be called, I would have a different idea, but this just seems pointless. But, there, he's got a weapon. That's cool. And then I feel like someone up above was like, hey, can you add more vehicles to this combiner? Can this be a 4-vehicle combiner? And the engineers were like, well, we already discussed this. It's 2. Like, just find a way. Add 2 more vehicles to this. And so they kind of did. So this ambulance technically adds on to him, but not really. Here's what it does. We're going to pop that apart. And this is going to go just like that over the top of him. It's like he's wearing a little vest or something. It snaps in. Not as smoothly as I'd like it to. It does snap in. Just a little hard to find the connectors. They're in there somewhere. There. It's a little better, right? I guess. He's two-toned now. Not really a part that we needed, but, it can do that. So there you go. He's got that going on. We'll put him to the side. We'll bring out his partner. There's the fire truck. Let's see what it does. And for this, we're going to remove the cherry picker right off the bat. And then, with him, he's less folding at least. I mean, I say that. We're going to fold right here. He's got those big muscle legs. We're going to fold that too. Okay, there's some folding still. I lied. He's still folding. But let's scale up a bit to see him. There we go. He's not bigger, per se. Just seems that way. This guy is a little more, how will I say, it's a little disproportionate. He looks a little too thick, perhaps. If it were up to me, I would have spent, 5 cents more in manufacturing and made this able to slide down to extend his legs a little bit. I think that would have solved it because he looks just a little bit too thick right now, a little disproportionate. Cherry picker becomes a weapon, and once again, I think we have a kind of lazy weapon here. We can put it right in there, and I guess it's a whip or something. I don't know. And then once again, that brilliant executive came up and said, hey, can you add another vehicle to this combiner? And the designers said, well, we've already designed this thing. So they came up with this little cheesy workaround solution. We'll take this ambulance, take off the top, the bottom, we just pull apart, and he's going to get a cute little vest. Doesn't really need it. Doesn't really affect the quality of the toy. But, now there's another vehicle involved, so there. Once again, these are really a little hard to snap into place. But it does the job. And then we have this little piece left over. And this is actually going to become a weapon. We're going to remove this. And it's sort of a, I guess it's a crossbow. Kind of. I suppose. It doesn't eject. There's no spring firing mechanism. It just sort of pulls out. And I don't think pulls out all the way. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but we're going to put that on the other side right here. And he's got that now. I can make him aim it at you. Make him a little more impressive. There we go. As for this piece right here, I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do with this. We'll leave it aside for now. It's going to be important later on, you'll see. But that's our second guy. And then the two of them together. I mean, honestly, they're not bad. They're not brilliant engineering, but they're big. They're well, let's get a size scale on that one for a second. Let's bring Smokescreen back again, G1 Smokescreen, just to see how much these guys utterly dwarf him. If that doesn't seem big enough yet, for size comparison, let's bring in a G1 Devastator, just so you can see how these guys measure up to him. They're big. Reasonably big toys, right? Not bad. And then they can combine together to form one giant robot. Let's walk through that, because that's the real big attraction here. That's the big show. So we're going to put, we'll need him first. We'll put him aside for a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove his weapon. We'll remove this weapon as well for a second. They'll come back later on. And then we're going to pull off his arms. We're going to press that button right there. And his arms are literally going to slide off. There we go. Let's do it again with this side. We're going to press the button. The entire arm is going to slide off. There we go. We'll put him back. A little armless, a little helpless. Ooh. A little armless, a little helpless. We're going to move these down here. And that's really important because this is ultimately going to become another triggering mechanism. When you squeeze these sides, it's going to be a release later on for undoing the combiner mode, which is pretty cool. So we've got that. We're going to take these and we're going to extend that out. We are going to tuck in the arm the way it originally was in fire truck mode. We'll do the same over here. And these are going to become larger feet for him. Feels very, very, very Takara Brave in its execution. There are holes in here that these are going to line up with. And that's how we're going to do this. So if you look right in there, you're going to see it line up perfectly. There we go. That side's in. We'll do it on this side as well. We've got the same holes right there. Same mechanisms right here. We'll combine. Bam! We have a larger mode started. We're going to have to pull up at this point to see a little bit more of what's going on because he's about to get significantly taller. Okay, now we're going to pull in this gentleman right here. We'll remove his little useless weapon. And here's where the toy gets really creative. Really creative. It's not simple folding and unfolding anymore. We're going to do some really fun stuff. Looking at him, we are going to move his arms upward like that. We'll do that here as well. We got that going on. We're going to fold out these wings. They're bigger. And then the really fun part for me, the really tricky fun part, is we're going to take his legs and they're going to become arms. Which is a hard thing to do. See how that's a fist right there? Now, here's the beauty. We have several things that are going to line up and connect. In here, you're going to see there's a red tab in the back of here that's going to connect right in. And there's a red tab right there as well that's going to connect right into a hole in his other arms for a total lock. So now he has a much bigger arm, and this thing is just sort of decoration up here. We'll do the same on the other side. Once again, we'll connect this little back red tab. We will connect that tab right there as well. And we once again have bigger arms. And he's going to go right in here for a total lock. If we need to undo him, that's what you have these for. Really big, impressive looking toy. I'm going to pull out even a little bit further because of how big he really is. Just so you're getting the full extent of how high he goes. This is a huge toy. Okay, so there's a little more to do with him now. What we're going to do, and it might seem asinine, but it's important. His head needs something to show that he's a big boy now, right? I feel like all the Japanese toys from Takara Brave on have done that. It shouldn't be the same head for a larger combined version. So what we're going to do here is, you'd think this piece would go perfectly into his head, but it won't. The connector would require it to curve down And that just looks kind of silly. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to remove this set of lights now. This set of lights is going to become his headpiece. Whoops. And this set of lights is going to replace the other ones down here. And that's sort of his more completed mode. On top of that, don't forget he does have additional weapons. They don't get any cooler this time around, but he does have that funky crossbow thingy, whatever it might be. That's right there. He does have his little power staff, whatever this little dopey derpy thing is. And of course his cherry picker whip. That's right here as well. That's going to attach in right there. I think the weapons are probably the most disappointing part of this toy. I really don't know what they were thinking. I hope they're cooler in whatever animated cartoon exists in Korea to help sell this toy to children. I don't think they're cool. The toy itself, he's pretty cool. He's really, really large too for size comparison. It's hard to find a G1 size comparison for him. I try to use G1 because those are toys everybody knows. I guess the closest is Metroplex. But man, does he make Metroplex look small. Obviously, a Fortress Maximus is going to be reasonably bigger than him, but that makes him larger than the second largest Transformer from G1. Actually, was Trypticon larger? Well, it was probably very close. He'd be larger than Trypticon as well. Very, very large, impressive looking toy. Just to give you a slightly better look at him. Really, really, really cool toy. With a unique transformation. Really, I do believe that. He's not perfect, but for $60, for $60, you're going to tell me this guy is not amazing? I sure think he is. And don't forget, he's a school bus too. So in the end, he's not the best toy I've ever bought overseas, but my gosh, he's impressive. And I'm sure glad he's mine for only $60. This guy's a beast. He feels very Takara Brave, if you're a fan of that series at all. A little bit Transformers-ish as well. Look, he's not perfect. There are places you can see them cutting costs, and I'm glad they did. That's why he was only $60, and that's why I made the jump and bought him. But he's a lot of fun. He's worth checking out, and I'm certainly going to keep looking at more Hello Carbot toys from now on as well. Every time I see a Pentastorm for sale, I'm going to be scrolling left and right to see what else is available from that same manufacturer, because they've done me right twice by this point. So this guy, once again, I don't know his name. If you know his name, why don't you tell me in the comments? Still Super Patron from Season 4 of Hello Carbot. If you've seen the anime this is from, if you know your Korean transforming robot toys, enlighten me. There's so much more I want to know. You guys keep giving me recommendations for other great Asian toy lines out there I've never seen. I definitely want you to keep those coming as well. And my gosh, I have a backlog of so many toys from overseas I plan to make videos about soon. But I had to start with Yellow Bus Man because he's just cool. So please, comment if you have thoughts, questions, interests, knowledge to share. Hit like and subscribe if you're so inclined. It helps our channel immensely. Check out our other content. There's so much we've done that we want you to see. And if you're looking for more great conversation, check us out at classiccomics.org, where you'll find a bunch of really friendly geeks who want to get to know you as a person, where you can make some lifelong friends for life. We're not Olive Garden, but we sure are family. Check us out at classiccomics.org. Have a great one. I'll see you next time. Stay weird.